because we shared with the Wrights.
Did you have to provide your own coal for heating up the coppers? And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you had it out. My dad had an allowance from
in the wash house next to the Wrights. There was two like corners. One was Wright's coal, one was ours. And there was also two coppers, more or less next to the coal. Well, if you were doing whites in the copper and you went to the coal...
I can remember my mum used to burn our old shoes, and she used to burn old shoes and stuff to make it a wash day.
Yeah.
And then I can remember in the war, when the sirens used to go, my mum would come and get us out of bed, and we just put his coats on and go. Well, we always used to go with Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the man who used to take me walks, and the elephant had me. So anyway, we went up to Mr. Smith's, and I can remember it pitch black, no lighting because you wasn't allowed to have lights. And I went and sat in the chair in the corner, and I sat there, and I was scared stiff. And anyway, I sat there a long time, and I kept thinking, when we're going, they'd all gone, shut the door, left me sitting in the chair in the dark, and then gone to the air raid shelter. And my mum says, "Where's our Kath?" And my dad says, "I ain't got her." So Mr. Smith says, "I bet she's in our house." So he come back for me, and Mr. Smith come back with the warden, and they come back and fetched me. They'd only left me sitting in the dark, and they'd gone to the air raid shelter without me. So that's another time.
Yeah. Unbelievable, ain't she? And she blames me.
so you had a cellar that you'd go?
Yeah, we all went down there until it flooded. Then nobody could go down. But my dad, by this time, he was a gas stoker, and he was also an air raid warden. And he'd got a little post in the outwoods.
Right.
And very often we used to go up there, or we'd go down the road, down just a few houses down to my grandma's, and she got a massive garden, went from Long Street right through to the miners' welfare, and we'd go up there, and 9 times out of 10 we'd go into the summer house.
Do you know what we forgot? What was next to Maskell's? The chip shop.
I know, Charnel's chip shop.
Charnel's chip shop, wasn't it?
And that was the Woolpack yard between them.
That's right. Because I used to go there, and I used to go and ask. I
For
used
the
to go in
batter
the
bits.
door, and I used to go and ask if I could have some batter bits, please.
Yeah.
And if I was lucky, I used to have a fritter.
Yeah.
If I were lucky.
I mean, you'd go in there for a pennyworth of chips.
In a code paper.
Yeah.
In newspaper.
Roll the paper up,
yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Chuck your chips in, you'd come out with them. Yeah. But we'd always be queuing it, wouldn't we? Wait for her to open the door. Can we have some batter bits?
And I can remember in the war as well, we used to have to queue for, we used to have to go down to Durno's and queue for tomatoes.
Yeah.
Can you remember? We used to have to queue for hot cross buns.
You used to queue for
We
everything.
used to queue for
Car.
everything.
I always remember queuing outside Maskell's for a banana. And I was in the queue with my grandma, and she let them have, when we got into the shop, we had the last 2 bananas. And Mr. Maskell said, "Oh, you can have one, Mrs. Gregory." And she said, "No, I want 2. He said, "You can have one and then somebody else can have one." So I got my head up like on the counter. I said, "Well, I'll have that one then." And we had the 2 bananas. And honestly, me and my brother didn't know what to do with them. I mean, my grandma gave my brother one, and I'd got one. And I looked at it for 2 days, didn't know what to do with the damn thing.
So as kids, did you all play in the yard?
Oh, yeah.
We all played
We all played together. I mean...
we used to get a leg and a wing. You and Mary Wright used to get me a leg and a wing and swing her, and we used to have a skipping rope.
Skip,
whip and top.
Play ball, whip and top.
Oh, yeah. At Sevenses, wasn't
Yeah.
it? You used to have different
And
things.
by this time, the tin sheets in between our yard and Grubb's yard had gone, so we just used to walk through, didn't we? And the one family in the end house, oh, they were scruffs, weren't they?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you about them in a
Oh, the Reeds. Oh my God. She got about 10 kids, hadn't she?
Yeah, but she was...
You never knew, because she was so big.
Yeah.
You never knew she was having another baby till you heard it cry.
I'll tell you this, she was such a kind woman. I mean, if she were giving the kids bread and jam, you got it the same.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
she
yeah.
was such a kind woman, but, I don't suppose she had time to do anything. She was looking after children all the time.
Well, the main thing was, Kath, whenever you seen the door open, she'd be sitting in this chair, wouldn't she?
And then she
big
used to have her own.
chair.
She used to have her own coal house, and then there was a wash house. Because
Yeah.
our house used to look onto their coal house and wash house, and the tins. And I'll tell you now, it was one day, and my mum was putting me and our Janet to bed, and she looked through the window and she says, "Oh my God!" So she shouts, "Jack, come up here and have a look at this." And the lads were climbing out their bedroom window onto the coal house roof and wash house roof and getting off and running. And they used to do that often, and they used to clear off up the wood and play. And she used to come out, and can I swear? She used to come out and she used to shout up to them, "Come back, you little bleeders, I'll cut your bleeding legs off when you come back." And she used to shout that to them.
Oh, God.
So she put them to bed and then they
And
legged
then-
it out the window. And
She wouldn't be down the stairs before they got the legs out the
and,
window.
And my mum and dad were watching them, and she used to shout this to them. Could hear her shouting it as they were running up the. They were going up the wood, weren't they, to play?
Yeah.
So what was this Grubs that you
A
mentioned?
paper shop. Paper shop.
And that was on Long Street.
Yeah.
Now-
That was next to our entry, weren't it?
Yeah. And Marley, my friend, she lives in Nuneaton. Her auntie used to keep a paper shop, Grub's paper shop. You know Marlene Timpson?
Yes.
Yeah. It was her dad was a Grub. Her mum was a Grub.
A mum.
Yeah, mum. Her dad was Timpson, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Her dad used to be the manager of the co-op up towards the wood. What's that road called? Where the hat factories used to be.
Wilson's and Staffords.
Yeah, up that road. Up Coleshill Road.
Coleshill Road.
Coleshill Road. Her dad used to be the manager in Coleshill Road in the co-op.
So your yard and Grub's yard was separated by corrugated
Tin shapes, yeah. And I mean, all the yards went from Long Street to the next street,
To the back,
didn't they?
yeah, to the back road. The back road.
Yeah,
The back road called it. The back road, that's it.
yeah. And then after Grubs, there was two more houses, weren't there, by the Reeds? But I don't know who was
Oh,
in.
no then. One was, he's our Janet's godfather. I should remember him. Oh.
I can't remember.
Mills.
Mills.
Yeah, Mills.
Yeah. And
I don't know what the middle one
there was the shop, and it was ironic because they had candles in the shop. It was that dark. In a paper shop, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And then they got like a shed at the back where they put the old papers.
We used to have the comics. Dad
Yeah.
Bean or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Not much of a fire hazard then.
Oh no. And then there was, next to that was my school sweet shop.
Yeah, then the chip shop.
Then the yard through was the wool pack. Then the chip shop.
And then Ford's. Mr. Ford.
Mills first,
Yeah,
and then
Mr.
Ford,
and then your
then my grandma's.
Mr. Ford, he used to be the one in the warehouse where I used to go wandering around them warehouses. I shouldn't have done, but I was such a nosy. I used to just walk through,
Yeah.
and I used to go and play in the grains, and they got great big things to weigh the
Bags
flour
on.
on, and I used to go in and stand in them and jump up and down, and then used to climb a ladder and go up the top and go along I used to just wander around as I liked, but nobody said anything.
You always have to go back the next day and apologise for it.
And then can remember going up round that way to the fair. They used to have stands up there, weren't they?
Yeah. But next to one of them, up the Ford and the Mills garden, at the end of there was the Brownies, Guides and Scout Hut.
Oh yeah, there's another thing.
Yeah.
On about experiences. You know, Mrs Adden, Roy Atkins, her grandson, right? Well, I used to play with him, cowboys, right?
Yeah.
I'd always go be the Indian though. So anyway, we were playing one day and we went by the Girl Guides hut.
Yeah.
And we were playing that and he was running after me anyway. His grandma shouted him. So he got a rope and he tied me to this post, right? And he cleared off to go and have his tea. And I couldn't get away till he come back. And he'd left me tied up at the post while he went and had his tea at his grandma's because his mum used to work. I don't know whether she worked at the hat factory or where she worked, but he always used to go to his grandma's after school. And he used to come and play with me and our Janet. And he tied me up.
Bit of a theme here, isn't there?
I know.
Yeah.
And then you see next to that, the Scout
Nobody
Hut.
ties me up now though.
Don't bank on it, girl.
Which direction are we going in now?
Well, we're going down Long Street.
Towards the station?
No,
The other way?
towards the Regal. Where the Scout Hut and that was, my grandma's garden was next to it. Then next to that was the Conservative Club. And they got a bowling green, hadn't they?
Yeah, because that road wasn't there, was it?
No.
No, that road's...
No.
All the houses been
No.
pulled down that road, gone by the council house, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
our yard, Grubb's yard, Maskell's, Woolpack, Ford and Mills, my grandma's, have all been flattened and it's a car park.
Mm.
And they made a road round then, didn't they?
Mm.
At the side of the Conservative
Well, then there
Club.
was the tennis court, weren't there?
Yeah,
At
and
the
my
back.
grandma, when the balls came over, used to charge them 2p tuppence to get the ball back. So they were fed up of paying tuppence, so they started climbing. And my granny was picking red currants and black currants one day, and this kid fell off the wall onto me granny. You ain't having your ball back now. Go on, you're not having your ball back. She wouldn't let him have the balls back after that. That's when she started charging them tuppence.
And then Christine Reid, do you remember Christine Reid?
Yeah.
Well, me and her used to play, and where the warehouse was, next door to, the one past Allen's Road, going up towards the back way,
Yeah,
going up towards Coleshill Road way, there used to be a big yard where we used to go and ride bikes
Yeah.
and play in there. I never had a bike, but I used to play with Val with lunch. She got a bike. And we used to climb that wall, and we used to go over, and there used to be apple trees there, and we used to go scrumping
Yeah.
apples.
I know. I've scrumped there myself.
Yeah,